2016, full of surprises, with populist movements around the globe angrily rejecting the political and economic establishment. There are, of course, many explanations for these events. Here I'll focus on just one perspective, and that's the psychology of revenge, retribution, and destruction. Many populist voters have explained that they were motivated by a desire to destroy the status quo. For example, one Leave voter said, "It was a chance to kick the whole establishment where it hurt, for us to send pain the other way." Watching all this unfold, I recognized a behavior I study in the lab called costly punishment. When people feel they've been disrespected or treated unfairly, they will often behave destructively, even if that destruction hurts them as well. We study costly punishment in the lab using economic games where people have to make decisions about how to divide up money with other people. In a typical interaction, person one will decide how to split some money. They might do this fairly or unfairly. Then person two can punish person one by spending some of their own money to destroy the payoff of person one. And many people will punish in this way when they feel they've gotten a bad deal. Punishment behavior is observed across cultures around the globe. People care about punishing unfairness so much, they're willing to invest as much as a month's wage to do so. And punishment is parochial, so people will punish members of rival groups more severely than members of their own group. Why is it that people punish? On the one hand, people might punish to teach a lesson. If someone treats you badly and you punish them, they're less likely to treat you that way in the future. On the other hand, revenge is sweet. People might punish because it feels satisfying in the moment, and regardless of whether it has good consequences. Brain imaging studies of punishment have shown that when people punish unfairness, an area called the striatum is activated. This area is involved in signaling rewards, and it gets hijacked by addictive drugs like cocaine. This suggests there could be a reinforcing, maybe even addictive quality to destructive behavior. We've also shown in my lab that people who are more impulsive, so prefer a smaller reward now over a larger reward after a delay, are more likely to punish unfairness. Again, supporting this idea that there's an immediately gratifying aspect of destructive behavior. We tested this in some experiments recently where we gave people the opportunity to punish someone who treated them unfairly. But we added a twist. The punishment took place in secret. So if you decide to punish, the other person loses money, but they think this was due to chance, and they never find out that they've been punished. This setup allows us to test exactly why it is people punish. If people are motivated to punish because they want to teach a lesson, they shouldn't bother to punish when it takes place in secret, because there's no point in punishing someone else if they're never going to find out they've been punished. They're never going to learn that lesson. But if people punish simply because it feels good, they should still be willing to punish, even if it takes place in secret. What we find is that people are indeed willing to punish quite a lot when it takes place in secret. And this is strong evidence, I think, that there's an immediately gratifying quality to punishment, because people are willing to do it even in a case where there's no possible way it could have any good consequences for oneself or for others. We also asked people to explain why it is that they punished. And strikingly, people's explanations did not match their behavior. People were very willing to endorse punishing for a moral reason, teaching a lesson. They were far less likely to admit that they punished because it felt good. Our research suggests then that people punish primarily because it feels satisfying. But the story they tell themselves and others is that they punish for moral reasons. And this is something that we should pay attention to, because it turns out that the situations that trigger this appetite for destruction are very easy to moralize. For example, punishment of foreigners can be justified as a concern for safety and security. Punishment of inequality can be redescribed as a fight for justice and equality. Our research suggests that, at least in some cases, these moral goals may be post hoc rationalizations designed to make destructive behavior more socially acceptable. Neuroscience tells us that behaviors that are repeatedly reinforced can crystallize into habits that, once established, are very difficult to break. If destructive behavior is rewarding for its own sake, there is a risk that such behaviors will habitize and lead to escalating cycles of retaliation. We need to be very careful we don't become addicted to moral outrage, satisfying as it may be. Thank you.